is a fast learner and the kid can hit.
Fight fans, welcome back.
He says, you know, his goal is to fight for a world title. You know, that's what he came to the United States to do. He's one of the greatest amateurs that ever lived. And he's ready to go.
I want to see Canelo Benavidez. It's the best fight that can be made at the weight class for the undisputed title. And then the winner should fight Morrell. What do we do? This is the deepest weight class in boxing.
The 168-pound weight class is pulsing.
Down goes Andrade in the fourth!
And a bonafide destroyer brimming with Caribbean confidence is right at the heart of the action.
He's experienced beyond his means.
A fearless bombs-away style mixed with a desire to inflict damage has left the big dogs on high alert as an unknown quantity closes in on their crowns. Carved in Cuba, manufactured in Minnesota, this super middleweight claims he's the real monster of the division.
Everybody say he's the best, he's great, whatever, but bro, ¿cómo se dice impresión?
Not impressed.
In this latest episode of Future Kings, we present the phenomenon that is...
Oh my goodness!
David Morrell. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation. Ultimately, it was Sena Akbeko's second bite at the cherry.
Sena, no one has been calling out David Morrell Jr. You tell us why you wanted this fight so much where others have not wanted to fight this man.
I've always had the mindset of being, you know, the top guy, getting to the top and becoming champion.
The hard-hitting challenger from Accra, Ghana, known as the African Assassin.
There was a grand plan to get me out of that fight on April 21st. They got me off the card.
Previously replaced by Yamaguchi Falcao, Agbeko believed he would provide a sterner test than the Brazilian, who was iced in a round.
The last two fights that
He is getting tested early by the uppercuts of David Morrell Jr. Good night, it's over. Yamaguchi Falcao knocked out for the first time in his career, and it was a brutal one.
I want to fight the best of the division, the 168.
I fought to get this fight back. You understand? Because I deserved it.
Morrell has presented himself as this mythical creature that everybody should be scared of, so nobody wants to fight him, and I'm the only guy out there who's willing to take on this challenge.
A teak-tough African warrior chiseled into marble, Agbeko looked the part. But Morrell hits different.
Tonight, in the last ever Showtime Championship Boxing telecast.
This is the end of Showtime Championship Boxing. Please end it with class.
And boy, backed up with the left. There's a right from Agbeko right as Morrell looking to unload.
It was definitely, you know, surprising. I mean, I got hit with one that was just right at the top of my head. That was what started everything.
Under a minute and a half left in the second. Agbeko buckled.
I found myself in the corner, and then he followed up with a couple more punches. But that first one pretty much got me good.
2 rounds in, the referee stepped into the eye of the storm to end matters. After dismissing Agbeko, Morrell made it clear that nothing less than a crack at David Benavidez would suffice.
Man, I told you before, I want to fight Benavidez, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I want to really fight with Benavidez, 100%.
As we depart and Showtime takes its final curtain call, it has been an honor of a lifetime.
Even in the early days, it was clear that this athlete, born into poverty as Osveri Morrell, Gutierrez was destined for a fine fistic future. Miami-based manager Louis de Cubas later described the young man who learned to brawl in makeshift street rings as the best kid to come out of Cuba.
He's just a special talent. A guy like this comes around every 25 years, okay? He can do it all, okay? He can punch, he can box.
He, just like Lomachenko, just like Rigondeaux, those were special fights. I think this guy's special. He's got a lot of road to plow, but I think he's a special guy.
Comparisons to Lomachenko were rife for the light heavyweight, who amassed an advertised amateur record of 130-2. Claiming gold at the World Youth Championships, Morrell swept up on the notoriously dog-eat-dog Cuban domestic circuit.
They've had the greatest amateur team over there for the last, I don't know how many years, 40 years, whatever.
Again, sparkling amateur career in Cuba as an amateur, 135-2.
Yeah, that's almost impossible to do. This kid has done it. Now, he's a real prodigy.
I worked over every Cuban fighter, Lara, Rigondeaux.
Right uppercut. Oh, there's a sniper like straight left.
Gamboa.
Gamboa's head snapped to the left.
To me, this kid is probably the most talented Cuban fighter that I've seen, in 2 decades.
This is one of the most talented guys I've ever seen. The guy can walk on his hands for a couple blocks. Tremendous talent, great athlete. He could be great in any sport.
And they escaped from the communist regime over there where they can fight. You can't fight pro over there, obviously.
Opting to enter the pro game rather than chase Olympic glory, Morrell had only one choice: escape the island and seek his fortune in the United States. Kissing his mother goodbye before sneaking onto a boat, overwhelmed by both sadness and anticipation, the American boxing dream had begun. And with it came a new style.
I'm pound for pound the baddest man throwing down. Look at us, yeah, we winning. Look at us.
Blending the influences of Leonard, Tyson, Roy Jones, and Duran, Morrell became a hybrid weapon. Described by veteran trainer Ronnie Shields as one of boxing's beasts,
I know how big and strong he is, and I know how hard he hits. I feel my guy can beat anybody in the world, no matter who it is. Everybody else feel the same way about their guy. But how you prove it in the ring?
Signing with the PBC launched his career from the off.
He's only been in this country 4 months. He came from Cuba 4 months ago. He was stopped in Miami, but he went to Minnesota, which just baffles me.
Cuban-born Morrell has adopted Minneapolis here as his hometown, and he has certainly been embraced by the fans here.
David Morrell has built a dedicated fan base in Minneapolis. December marked Morrell's 6th appearance at the Armory and his 4th headlining slot. Dispensing with the jab, instead opting to swagger into the trenches and duke it out, Morrell has destroyed the safety-first Cuban amateur narrative.
You have guys that are slick boxers, you got the Rigondeaux and guys that are movers. But that being said, Morrell's a hunter. He's a shark.
I'm the biggest shark.
At over 6 feet tall, with power in both hands, the offensive southpaw delighted his fans from the very beginning with a gung-ho approach.
Look at us, just beginning. Give me my trophy. This is the first of many. Look at the W's. This is the first of many.
After dismissing his first 2 overmatched opponents, it became apparent that Morrell would need to be fast-tracked.
And this was only your 2nd professional fight. What's the urgency? Seems like you're maybe moving a little fast.
Who's boss? Big shot from Morrell. And an uppercut, down goes Rankin.
And he's ready to go. If he could break Lomachenko's record, he'd like to do that right now, because he could.
All right, well, I'll be looking forward to seeing that happen.
Boxing for a version of the world title in just his 3rd outing, David dominated unbeaten Lennox Allen.
I did watch a couple of videos and then feel like he's a really slick southpaw. So basically it's going to be 2 slick southpaw going to be in there.
Here is the talented, undefeated top contender, Lennox Allen.
Despite the wide disparity in experience, with Morrell having only participated in 3 rounds to this point, the southpaw posted a sublimely one-sided display.
But, you have to remember, an amateur fight is 3 rounds. He's really never been past 3 rounds. Jamal James's trainers, and they're experienced guys. So.
Very good boxer. A little showboating. He felt comfortable.
Allen achieved a rare feat. He extended Morrell the distance. A string of follow-up foes were dismissed with minimal fuss as Morrell returned to engulfing victims with a relentless aggression. Technically sound, hitting incredibly hard with a clear sporting prowess, David Morrell looked like a man ready to clean up the 168-pound division.
I'm ready every time for everybody, man. I tell you everybody, everything. I'm ready.
Mario Cazares was riding high from beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., before Morrell annihilated him inside a round.
Just submit to the clinch. Flash to his credit.
Wiry Atlanta's Fox had dropped Demetrius Andrade.
Here we see Andrade throw a right jab, a miss from Fox, and a clear slip. The feet got tangled up. In my opinion, that wasn't even close to a knockdown.
And caused issues for a number of opponents with his unorthodox dimensions. Morrell blitzed him in 4.
What were some of the great things that you experienced inside the ring that people can't really understand?
I don't think his hands are as fast as they probably think, but
Those hands are fast too, Joe. I think those hands, Lennox, are a little faster than Fox anticipated.
you know, he has pretty good speed, and definitely good power.
Boom, right there.
Texan puncher Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson was used to dishing out punishment before David opened a cut and ragdolled him around the ring.
More technically accurate punches and the more eye-catching shots, but the one-sided nature of the statistics really do illustrate the one-sided nature of what's unfolding.
Everything about Morrell's rise was positive.
I'm ready for everybody that 168. I'm open for everything.
Until a bout in 2021 that brought home just how hurtful the game can be.
So look, I'm a hunter. I like hunting.
Hailing from Kazakhstan.
So it's in a kind of Kazakh culture, you know. You need to know how to hunt. Hunting season right now in Kazakhstan. I'm going to hunt for the Morrell. I'm going to take this belt with me to Kazakhstan.
Hey, thank you, man.
And a guy who said he is coming for war. He knows it.
Aidos Yerbasinuli from Kazakhstan, 30 years old. He's 16-0 with 11 KOs.
World title challenger Aidos Yerbasinuli was a ferocious come-forward fighter with an axe to grind and a point to prove.
I know like Cubans are good in amateurs. But in professionals, I didn't see any good Cubans. Yeah, okay.
Man, really?
Look.
Basically what he said is, listen, in amateurs, Cuban boxers great. In pros, he hasn't seen great fighters, including David. What's David's response?
No, really, like, I'm feel bad for him, man. My Cuban, but no, man.
You don't mess with the people in Cuba. You can mess with me, no problem, but you don't mess with the people in Cuba.
Got it.
Going to the body here in the 5th.
Morrell isn't as good offensively in these rounds.
Yerbasinuli coming on.
After a fizzing start, the tragic contest led some to question Morrell's ongoing stamina and gas tank as he took the middle rounds off before closing a late stoppage that left the exhausted Kazakh in an induced coma.
Knocks down! Mamma mia!
So we'll see what it looks like when he comes back. I don't know. I hope he does come back.
How hard is it for a fighter like David Morrell? You know,
he's probably taking it hard.
It's bad. Like I remember that my last fight, after the fight, go to the hospital. Like I feel bad. Then never guys go to the hospital. Then nothing. You know what I mean?
A vocal campaigner for autism awareness.
Son campeones, pero del autismo.
Yeah, they're the kids that are champions in autism, and they're very strong people, and that's what he supports.
Morrell has a softer side away from the ropes. Not that he is afraid to let loose and trash talk potential future foes.
The Mexican monks.
David Benavidez, in particular, has been on the end of some pointed projectiles.
That impressed me. You know, like, we want to fight him. I think David can stop him like in about 8-9 rounds. His trainer said that he wasn't ready. His management team, said that he's not ready. So, bro, it's bullshit. My fight is done. Okay, let's go. See nothing. The moment that I have a fight, talking again. You know what I mean? So.
Notable wins and meaningful names sit on the horizon. For now, the Morrell eye test paints a beautiful picture.
Listen, David Morrell. Woo! He can fight. He could beat Canelo.
Nobody can beat this Canelo. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Barely into double figures, trying the crown on for size, it's all part of a patience game for this future king in waiting.